Lena had always been a dreamer, her head filled with images of stars and galaxies far beyond her reach. She worked as an artist in a bustling city, but her nights were restless. Recently, her dreams had been replaced by strange whispers, a soft, melodic hum that grew louder as the nights went on. One evening, unable to sleep, Lena stepped out onto her balcony. The city lights glimmered below, but her eyes were drawn upward to the stars. That's when she saw it, a single star shining brighter than the rest, pulsing gently as if it were alive. Compelled by an invisible force, Lena grabbed her sketchbook and began to draw. The stars seemed to guide her hand, and soon, an intricate map of constellations filled the page. "What is this?" she murmured, her heart racing. The whispers returned, clearer this time, and one word echoed in her mind: "Come." The next night, Lena followed the whispers. They led her to an abandoned observatory on the outskirts of the city. Its rusted dome and shattered windows gave it a haunting beauty, but Lena felt no fear. Inside, the air was thick with dust, and the faint hum of machinery echoed through the silence. At the center of the room stood an old telescope, its lens pointed directly at the glowing star she had seen the night before. She approached the telescope and peered through it. To her astonishment, the star seemed closer, as if it were reaching out to her. The whispers grew louder, guiding her to press a button on the telescope's side. A beam of light shot out from the lens, creating a shimmering doorway in the air. Lena hesitated, but the whispers urged her forward. Taking a deep breath, she stepped through the light. Lena found herself standing in a realm unlike anything she had ever imagined. She was surrounded by an endless expanse of stars, each one glowing softly in hues of blue, gold, and silver. The ground beneath her feet shimmered like stardust, and the air was filled with a gentle, otherworldly melody. "This can't be real," she whispered, her voice trembling. "It is as real as you are," a voice replied. Lena turned to see a figure approaching her. He was tall, with eyes that sparkled like galaxies and a cloak that seemed to be woven from the night sky itself. "Who are you?" she asked. "I am Orion," he said, "a guardian of the stars. And you, Lena, have been chosen." "Chosen for what?" "To help us restore the balance of the constellations," Orion said. "The stars are fading, and we need your gift to save them." Orion led Lena through the starry expanse, explaining the crisis. Each star represents a story, a dream, or a memory. But as people lose their connection to wonder and imagination, the stars dim. Lena felt a pang of guilt. She had spent so much time lost in her own world that she hadn't thought about the bigger picture. "How can I help?" she asked. Orion stopped in front of a large, glowing sphere suspended in the air. Inside, Lena could see fragments of constellations, their lights flickering weakly. "You have the ability to create," Orion said. "Your art can breathe life back into the stars." "But I'm just an artist," Lena protested. "You are more than that," Orion said gently. "Your dreams have power. Trust them." Orion handed Lena a glowing brush and pointed to a blank patch in the starry expanse. "Begin here," he said. Lena hesitated, but then dipped the brush into the shimmering paint-like substance that appeared out of nowhere. She began to paint in the air, her strokes fluid and instinctive. As she worked, the blank space filled with light, forming a new constellation, a phoenix rising from the ashes. The stars within the constellation glowed brightly, their warmth spreading through the expanse. "You did it," Orion said, his voice filled with awe. Lena stepped back, her heart swelling with pride. "It's beautiful," she whispered. "The stars have missed your light," Orion said. "And there is still much to do." Lena's creation of the Phoenix constellation sparked something within her, a confidence she hadn't felt before. Orion smiled as the stars around them brightened slightly. "The stars respond to belief and creativity," Orion said. "But there are many constellations that remain broken." He waved his hand, and the starry expanse transformed into a sea of glowing pathways. Each path led to a different part of the sky, each representing a lost story or forgotten dream. "Choose," Orion said. Lena felt drawn to a path that glimmered faintly, its light fragile but persistent. As she walked down it, the whispers returned, filling her mind with fragments of a story, love, loss, and hope. At the end of the path, she found a constellation shaped like a heart. Its stars flickered weakly, their light barely visible. "What happened here?" she asked. "It's the story of two dreamers who lost their connection to each other," Orion explained. "It needs your touch to shine again." Lena knelt before the constellation, the glowing brush in her hand. She closed her eyes and let the whispers guide her. Images filled her mind, two figures standing under the stars, their hands reaching for each other, but never touching. She began to paint their story, filling in the gaps with her own imagination. The stars responded to her strokes, glowing brighter with each movement of the brush. Slowly, the constellation took shape, forming two figures holding hands beneath an arch of stars. When Lena finished, the constellation glowed brilliantly, its light spreading across the expanse. "They're together again," Lena said softly, tears in her eyes. Orion placed a hand on her shoulder. "You've given their story back to the stars. And in doing so, you've inspired others to dream again." As they returned to the central expanse, Lena noticed the stars around her shining more brightly than before. Orion led her to a grand chamber filled with glowing orbs, each one containing a constellation. "This is the Hall of Stories," he said. "Every constellation you restore will find its place here, preserving the dreams and memories of those who came before." Lena felt a deep sense of purpose. What happens when all the stars are restored? "The balance will return," Orion said. "But the work of a dreamer is never done. The stars will always need someone to guide them." Lena hesitated. "Are you saying I'll be staying here?" Orion nodded. "You've been chosen as the keeper of stories, Lena. The stars need you." The weight of Orion's words sank in. Lena thought of her life back on Earth, her art, and the dreams she still wanted to chase. "But if I stay, what happens to my life?" she asked. "Your connection to the stars will remain," Orion said. "But your world will continue without you. The choice is yours." Lena looked at the glowing constellations, the phoenix she had created, and the stories she had restored. She felt the pull of something greater than herself. "I don't know if I can leave everything behind," she said, her voice trembling. "You won't be leaving it behind," Orion said. "You'll be preserving it, ensuring that dreams never fade." Lena stood at the center of the starry expanse, the glowing brush in her hand. She looked up at Orion, determination in her eyes. "I'll do it," she said. "I'll stay." The stars around her erupted in a symphony of light, their glow filling the expanse with warmth and beauty. Orion bowed his head in gratitude. As Lena began her new role, painting and restoring constellations, she felt a sense of peace she had never known. She was no longer just a dreamer. She was a creator, a protector of stories, and a guide for those who dared to look up at the stars. And on Earth, whenever someone gazed at the night sky, they could feel her presence in every shining light, reminding them to dream.